Hello, thank you for joining me. These videos are for August 2022 using a sidereal zodiac for both ascendants and moon signs. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about the months generally speaking and see what's happening in the month of August 2022. Firstly, I use sidereal zodiac. So if you want to know in sidereal zodiac, which is different, it's like 23, 24 degrees behind the Western astrology. So if you wanted to find out how, what your ascendant or moon sign is, you can use a wonderful app, although it's quite complex, called Cosmic Insight. Put your details in and it tells you what your ascendant is and your moon sign. And then you can just watch along, watch both, ascendant for your path and moon for how it feels. I'm also very big on intentions and manifestations. So there are 3 dates in this month of August that you can do that. You can do it on the 5th of the month when moon is in Swati, and then 17th moon is in Ashwini. Swati is in Libra and Ashwini is in Aries, and then again at 31st of the month moon will be again back in Swati. So 3 opportunities to do these. The way I do them, I normally do it on white piece of paper, blue ink, and first of all say gratitude to the universe, and then I write in detail what I want. You've got to be specific, because if you want to say I want a job and then you just, that's it, you want to just like write it down and put it, it's not going to work. You have to put energy towards that. So your energy, what you put energy in is what you manifest. And you got to, so you want to write down what type of job, what sort of progress you want to have, what sort of training, what type of people you want to work with, and just be very specific, salary, location, how much you want to travel, all that kind of stuff. And then write it down and then thank the universe and then leave it in the northwest of your property. That's how I normally do it. So it's really nice to do that and just use very empowering words, because words are, like you say, can you spell that word for me? Spelling, put a spell on the universe. That's what you want to do, manifest really good things. And that's the reason why I always discourage people from using difficult words. You want to use empowering words, positive, abundant words. That's what my teacher always just say, just be abundant. So that will be the way to do it. So that's another thing to just bear in mind for the month. And so I wanted to just say, obviously, we've had since the 16th of July, we've had this opposition where Sun has been in Cancer, and Saturn retrograde has been in Capricorn since the 13th of July. So we have this opposition going on, which is quite difficult, but we're all going through it. So just be aware of yourself, be careful with your dad, and also just bear in mind that this is going to be difficult, but it's only till the 18th of the month, and then after that all will be good. But this is quite a time for governments and politicians and leaders. So we are just kind of disposing of the ones around the world. World is just purging all the people who are not leaders, who are not for the people. So that is what's really happening, and it's going to continue doing that. So watch out for some more happening this week and so forth. Well, it's probably till the 18th actually. So also Rahu, the whole of the month is going to be in Aries. That's the north node of the moon in Aries, and K2 is going to be, or south node will be in Libra. And then we have Saturn in Capricorn retrograde, Jupiter is in Pisces retrograde, so both of them nice and strong in own sign. And we till the 11th, roughly about the 11th of the month, Mars will be in own sign, which is Aries. And what else we have? Sun obviously goes from the 18th, goes in own sign, Leo, so that will be amazing too. So these are the themes. So, but how we start the month for everyone is Mars, Rahu in Aries. Venus will be beginning of the month in Gemini, a friendly sign. Sun will be in Cancer, Saturn in Capricorn retrograde, Jupiter in Pisces retrograde, K2 Libra, Mercury in Leo, and Yeah, and there is also just want to just tell you about the it's obviously a 31 day month. So as I said, there's all these opportunities to you know, manifest things for yourself, etc. And but what I do with each of the ascendants as I do them, somebody did comment about yogas. What do yogas mean? So I'm just going to finish this video and I'll do a very short video on what yogas are in astrology. So I do apologize, but I do have videos. You can go and visit them and they give you much more information. So I'll do that in the next video. And obviously, if you know, you can just skip that bit. I'll put the time in the details below. Thank you very much. Okay, so what are yogas? Yogas are a combination when there's an influence between planets and houses. So normally, obviously, the most beneficial of the kind of yogas are when trinal and angle houses, or the lords of them. By lords, I mean by the lords, but lords are literally the planet that rules that house. There's a combination of them that have some form of influence for each other. So, for example, say if you have Mars. Mars is the first and eighth house ruler for, say, for Aries ascendant. So when Mars is in conjunction with Jupiter, which rules the 9th and 12th house for Aries, they create this sambandha, this kind of like combination of first and 9th house. First house can be an angle or a trinal house. But for the sake of this, we're going to say it's an angle house coming in connection with the 9th house ruler. So in that case, they're creating a Raja Yoga, because an angle and the trinal house or lords, they've become combined. They can, but I know they rule 8th and 12th house too, but that doesn't matter, because 8th and 12th house, although they are difficult houses, but they don't break any yogas. Only breakage is when 6th house or 6th lord is in is in this combination. So in which case it breaks the yoga, and the fruits of that will come much later, because 6th house is a house that is like upachaya, they call it. It gets better with time. So we get to learn how to manage ourselves, how to deal with obstacles of life. Then you can get fruits from it, from your hard work. So basically, this is what happens. I always look at Raja Yogas, Dana Yogas as well, because these two, Dana Yoga is for wealth, and Raja Yoga is for success. Sorry, I think something happened with my internet then. Yeah, so I always look at those. So those are important. Dana yogas are very important for relationship, because 2nd house is family, 11th house is gain of something, gain of relationship, family, etc. And so trinal houses are 1st, 5th, and 9th houses. Angles are 1st, 4th, 7th, and 10th. So these are obviously very important auspicious houses, and any planets that rules them also becomes an auspicious planet, unless if they rule the 6th house, in which case the combination will not get many fruits. So and if you're lucky, that happens in your D1, which is your natal chart, or your D9, which is in astrology. Vedic astrology is very important. That really confirms the actual strength of all your planets. So if they repeat in that, then it means they're very, very successful yogas. And if they repeat in your D10, which is your career chart, then yes, fantastic. They continue those successes into that as well. So this is what I mean. But please look at my yoga. I have Raja Yoga and Dana Yoga videos. I sometimes also say Mahapurush Yoga. Mahapurush again is elevation, success, and accomplishment yoga as well. This is when a planet is a good planet for the ascendant. Say, for example, for Taurus ascendant, what happens is like Saturn rules their 9th and 10th house. So on its own, because it rules an angle and also a trinal house, 9th house and 10th house, if it goes in any house, it's going to, apart from the 6th house, or becomes involved with Venus, because Venus rules their 6th house. Then if it doesn't has a combination with them, but if it goes in any other house, Saturn on its own can create Raja Yoga for them. But if it's in their if Saturn happens to be in their in Aquarius, it will create what is called a Sasha Yoga for them, Mahapurush Sasha Yoga. So this means of, again, elevation, accomplishment, etc. If for example, for Aries Ascendant, what happens if Jupiter is in their 4th house, which is Cancer, and it will be exalted, or if it is in their 9th house, which is their Sagittarius, then it creates a Hamsa Yoga, again, of success, because it's gone into, it's really strong. It's exalted or in own sign. In that case, Venus, Mercury, Mars, Jupiter and Saturn can create these Mahapurush yogas. So please watch these videos about them so you can actually enhance your knowledge of these yogas. Thank you. Hello, this video is for Leo Ascendant or Leo Moon using a sidereal zodiac for month of August 2022. Right, let's have a look at the chart for it. So for you guys, obviously what's happened is you've had Sun, Saturn opposition. Your ruler Sun has been in your 12th house. So Sun doesn't do very well in the 12th house. It's one of those positions that's quite difficult for the Sun, because Sun likes to be like transparent about everything, and it's in a sacred house. So, and it's probably not really affecting you so much as it is globally. So you can see that a lot of secrets have had to come out. A lot of leaders have stepped down. So anyway, for you guys, maybe you're completing things, you have had some expenses, that kind of thing. And this is obviously, it could also be like endings of a relationship, because it's an opposition with Saturn. Saturn is not only your 6th house ruler, but also 7th house ruler. So it could be that ending of a relationship, ending of a job. 6th house is work. So those could be something that you're completing, putting to rest. And it could also be that you haven't been very well and you have been like taking yourself away from everything just to recoup, or maybe you're traveling, you're in an ashram, in a spa, meditating, and obviously it's also spiritual placement too. You also have, and this is only till the 17th, 18th of August, by the way, and after that all will be good for all of us, really. So, but expect more leaders to step down. I also expect like those bosses and everything who are very egotistical. Saturn is just going to just humble them, really. So, okay, so 1st house is occupied by Mercury and Moon. So you have an exchange between 12th house ruler Moon and 1st house ruler Sun. So they've exchanged signs. So you're completing things to do, it's really, the universe is really sort of helping you tie up all those loose ends so that you can get on with freshness. You've got also Mercury in the 1st house. So during this time, although you might be also expending money and getting that extra expenses going on, but it could also be that expenses could be to do with Sun is the indicator of father. Maybe the father has not been very well, has been hospitalized or something. That could have created some health issues and wealth issues for you. And equally, it could be yourself too. But having Mercury in the 1st house, Mercury is high, it has got directional strength in the 1st house, same as Jupiter. And what it makes them be very, very good at being like focused, making decisions, going for things, being practical, using their intellect to deal with things. Mercury for you also is the 2nd and 11th house ruler, so all on its own can create money for you. Going into a trinal or an angle house can really elevate that. So you're making money, gains, being able to, despite the fact that you're in the house of expenditure, you're able to actually save money or make money to bring gains in. So also you got Venus in the 11th house. So Venus for you rules 3rd house and also 10th house. So, you know, Leo ascendants can very much be in the entertainment industry, and excuse me. And so through work and just expressing yourself, new skills that maybe you've learned, things like that, you're actually earning money from your hard work too, which is lovely. And also Venus is sitting in a friendly sign too, which is you know, making that the gains even better. It also could be that you are wanting to spend and connect time with friends, doing more artistic, creative endeavors, like, you know, going dancing, singing, choirs, to the cinema, all kinds of things like that. Just connecting, days out, picnics, having fun. And also 3rd house is travel. So it could be that you're wanting to just connect with friends and go ahead and go traveling. You then have Ketu in the 3rd house. So it could just be that maybe during this next year and a half, it could be like you're cutting yourself away from certain friends and things too, or maybe finishing some of the hobbies and starting some new ones instead, because Rahu is aspecting your 5th house. So you want to maybe do more, even more creative stuff, you know, definitely different things. So it could also be teaching. You might want to become like an advisor or something like that too. Okay, so you also have Rahu in your 9th house. So Rahu is encouraging you to do more studying, like learning. Belief systems will change during the next year and a half for you. You become much more, you know, like you'll be on your own sort of individual path, where you're actually doing your own thing, you know, and maybe you want to study something completely different, completely unusual. Maybe you're wanting to publish some work that you've done. Write a book. It's definitely about education, learning, belief system, travel, foreign lands, and also Mars is there. So Mars for you is your Yoga Karaka planet, 4th and 9th house ruler in the 9th house. So it's obviously all to do with, yeah, you know, it's very strong. So it makes you really want to. Because Mars on its own can create yoga. It's a Yoga Karaka planet, so it can create very, very good yogas for you of success and accomplishment. It's also creating a Mahapurusha yoga for you as well, with being in own sign. So it's very, very strong. So you'll be feeling quite independent, quite adventurous during this time too. But what I just want to point out, this is also 2 malefics in your 9th house. So you really want to look after your dad's health. You know, Sun is also being aspected. The Sun is significator of father, is being aspected by Saturn and also Mars too. So be aware of that. And also Mars on its own is also aspecting your 4th house too. So be careful just generally with family, mum and dad. But on the other hand, it can also give you a lot of fruits too. And so you could also be studying law in a sense too. And I dare say it'd be different. It could be like common law rather than the maritime law that for some reason we use, and we should be under common law. And for you, so Mars is aspecting your 12th house, encouraging you to put energy into completing, finishing things that you need to do. Is also aspecting your 3rd house, putting energy into kind of like learning new skills, things like that. Also aspecting your fourth house. So it could also be that Mars is encouraging you, the same as Ketu in the third house. Third house is 12 houses from, it's like ending of a home. So it could be that you want to move during this time too. And that's definitely Mars is helping that. Jupiter is your 5th and 8th house ruler. It's aspect in 12th house, again wanting you to sort of either travel abroad or become quite spiritual, do your like meditations and spiritual practices. It's aspect in your 2nd house of money, elevating that. It can give you like surprise amounts of money. And also aspect in your 4th house, so blessing that change, if you like, creating a change within your home environment. And that's Jupiter is going to be there for a while. Saturn is obviously aspect in your 12th house, really pushing you to finish some things. It's aspect in 10th house from it, which is your 3rd house, again wanting you to change something to do with your abode, for sure. And also aspect in your 8th house, so it's kind of one in you, encouraging you to just like be kind of flexible with change, you know, don't be like scared about it, just go with it, because Leos are it's a fixed sign, and it's just like for them changes are not very easy, so they're quite fixed in the way that they think things should be. When there is a change, it could come with a bit of a shock, but if you go with it, it'll be really good. Okay, so those are the oh yeah, and just say Rahu is aspect in 1st house, which is like changes to yourself. It's also aspect in your 5th house. Maybe you want to start like some sort of education, academic education, or might be that you're really seeking some romance if you are, or even if you're married with somebody, you want to put more romance or try new ways of doing romantic stuff, some partying and things with your partner, but definitely making it more creative, more romantic, and with its aspects too. So okay, let's start. So 2nd and 3rd, Moon is going to be 12th house ruler in the 2nd house. Obviously, Moon is not going to be. Moon wants you to spend money, and it's quite funny. This, you know, like Moon in also doesn't do very well in Mercury signs. So it just thinks very quickly and wants to just like buy something. So it could be that just be careful with spending money, because for these couple of days, 2nd and 3rd, just because Moon is not in a good place, you know, it's also 12th house ruler in the 2nd house. So yeah, just be aware of it could be like wasteful expense. Okay, and I just want to say, if your dad or yourself are poorly, don't worry, because Sun is being hemmed by 2 wonderful benefics and being aspected by Jupiter. So but if you're poorly, your dad is poorly, things will be fine. You just got to just really be aware of your health and everything, eating well, and just, you know, just making good choices, and all will be good. Okay, so Moon goes into your 12th house ruler in the 3rd house with K2. This could definitely make you very spiritual, very connected to the source during that time. And Moon is also 12th house ruler in the 3rd house, aspected by Mars. Mars is the indicator of land and property, so it could be just like it could help you gain a property, or help you like start thinking about it and put energy into it. Then we have the next state on the 5th. Obviously, check the times in your area. You want to get it just only when Moon is in Swati. Good day for intentions there. And having that Mercury on the ascendant is pretty amazing, actually. Really good. Okay, so then we have a debilitated Moon for a couple of days for you as well. Now Venus goes into on the 8th, Venus goes into Cancer. So this is Venus does well in the 12th house. It's not in a friendly sign though, and it is being you know, it's in conjunction with the sun, and Sun and Venus just do not get on. And, you know, any planet sitting with the sun, it's actually either combust, which is not combust there, but it could also be completely overshadowed. So if you meet somebody, if you're single during this time, and you meet somebody, really take your time getting to know them, because of that very reason, because you can't really see everything, you know, it's not everything is obvious about them until you get to know them. So, but on the other hand, Sun in the 12th house, Venus in the 12th house makes one want to be lazy and just like chill at home too. Venus is going to help this situation, this you know, opposition of Saturn and Sun, because Venus is friendly with Saturn, so it's going to soothe all things to do with relationships and work, because sixth house is work, service, and enemies, litigation, health, healing, etc., etc. So Venus will help that. But obviously Venus itself is agitated by the sign and by the conjunction with the Sun. And then obviously Mars is aspecting both. So a little bit of agitation there in love. Okay, so we have the Moon in the 12th house there. 12th house, sorry, in the 5th house. The Moon likes to be in Jupiter's sign. So Moon in the 5th house could be like, you could get like very creative things when you're sleeping, you know, during that time. Come from above, which is lovely. And then we have a situation where Mars on the 11th leaves Aries, and now this is your Yogacaraka planet. It's in the 10th house. This is amazing because it creates wonderful yogas. For one thing, Mars has got directional strength in the 10th house. And it is friendly with Venus, really. So I never see that as a difficulty unless there are other issues there. It can create, obviously, violence, but, you know, so it could be a little bit too passionate. But generally speaking, this is pretty good. Also, Mars is aspecting your 4th house to protecting your 4th house, which is lovely. So this is quite a nice little situation there. But it is aspecting Mercury, and it's not friendly with Mercury. So just be careful with family, with your savings, with friends, things like that, not to say anything too hastily and upset anyone. So just bear that in mind. Okay, so then we have this new moon, full moon occurring on the 12th. Amazing. So this is going to be like so it's 12th and 6th house for you. So you know that Moon is also aspecting own sign, Cancer, protecting your 12th house. And it's very spiritual in a sense, Moon for you there. But it could be that, you know, like if you're feeling like you and your spouse have had time that you've maybe it's like you want to just the quarrels and, you know, bickering at home, you want to work on those to just make you feel, you know, because put the ego aside and just, you know, try concentrate on love and just, you know, healing, if you like, on that sense. So that'll be the theme for 2 weeks. Then we have Mercury and Moon opposition, 1st and 7th house. So this is where, you know, Mercury Moon Moon doesn't do well in Mercury signs or vice versa. And definitely oppositions and conjunctions are difficult. One is thinking process, and obviously the other one is the mind. So and they're both fast moving planets. So you could be thinking, overthinking, and just exhaust yourself in the process. And we know thoughts are not real. We could have millions of them in a week and they're not real. And they just waste our time, really. So anyway, but what happens is this is nice because Jupiter and Moon will be together in the 8th house, and this is 12th house ruler in the 8th house. So Moon not only likes being with Jupiter, but also because it's not a good planet for Leo ascendant, what it's doing is actually creating a Viprit Raj Yoga, which is through some difficulties you're going to accomplish and be successful. That's nice. So okay, and obviously the whole time Saturn is also aspecting the 8th house too. Okay, so we got, this is the second time we get a chance to actually do our intentions. On the 17th, moon is with Rahu in Aries, but it's in Ashwini Nakshatra, which is very swift and very light, great for your intentions. Okay, and now obviously what's happened is Sun has gone into own sign, leaving Venus on its own in the 12th house, which is wonderful. For one thing, Sun is in own sign, it's in a bit of friendly planet, so the two of them together are planet of intelligence and confidence, planet of intellect and practicality together, self and money, friends and family together. This is lovely. And also Mars is Yogacaraka planet aspect in the 1st house, so it's pretty good because it's a good planet for you guys, putting energy into both. And now what happens is Venus and Saturn are together there. Venus does well in the 12th house, as I said earlier, and now because there's no interference from the Sun, these two can actually work together quite well, because Saturn is okay in the 6th house and Venus is okay in the 12th house. So two planets that can help those two houses really. So okay, now we have moon exalted in the 10th house. So this is could be that you want to just complete a task at work, or you could also be wanting to, this is very very good for property actually, and but it can also give one short temper at work, you know, but because Mars is quite dignified in the 10th house, and in Venus's signs as well, it's a little bit more caring about others. So yeah, this could be like you're completing a job, or you are just like getting recognized at work too. There's an exchange between 10th and 12th house rulers, and moon is exalted, so that's pretty nice. There are quite a lot of nice things going on. If you think Sun is own sign, Saturn own sign, Jupiter own sign, Mars got directional strength, moon is exalted, there's an exchange between them too. So yeah, pretty good. Okay, so again, moon is still in exaltation sign, and now Mercury is gone into own sign. So 2nd house ruler in the 2nd house, 11th house ruler in the 2nd house, and Mercury own sign, Sun own sign, Jupiter own sign. But obviously this opposition of Mercury and Jupiter is a little bit difficult because they don't like each other very much, but you know, they're both strong. So okay, then we got moon 12th house ruler in the 11th house, spending money on things to do with fun things with friends. And then we have got a situation where we're going to like moon is with Venus in the 12th house own sign, and this is nice indulgent time, and just probably want to just be at home and just be lazy and just enjoy it. Okay, and then we have a new moon occurring on the 27th of the month, where it's about 1st and 7th. It's about things that you want to complete, maybe relationships you want to end, expenses that you want to deal with, and that will be the theme for the next couple of weeks. Everything will be fine though, because you've got two benefics, one side of the Sun and one the other side. And also what's happening is Sun is in own sign, and in, you know, being hemmed nicely, so it's really protecting your ascendant. I mean, I know Mars is aspecting it, but Mars and Sun work pretty well together, friendly towards each other. So then we get one more shot at doing our intentions. Or let's go back a few hours. It's just, yeah, here we go. Just on the last day of the month, can go into first, but just check the timing for this. Moon will be in in Swati, the last day of the month. So we get 3 goes at actually putting our intentions out. Make the most of it, and I hope you can actually manifest your dreams. I'll see you next month. Thank you so much for watching.